afternoon and welcome to another one of the Department of Navy's Ask Me Anything. My name is Mercedes Thurston and I am the Department of Navy's Mentor Protégé Program Manager. Today, Ask Me Anything will be all about the Mentor Protégé Program with DoD in the Department of Navy. We'll go ahead and throw the slides up and start the quick brief that I want to give everyone, and then we'll go straight into the Q&A session. Please be sure to use the Q&A features within the Zoom app. We will be reading those questions and trying to answer them for you guys. Okay, so again, as I mentioned, today is going to be, today's Ask Me Anything is about the Mentor Protégé Program. This is the Navy's second Ask Me Anything. We will continue to have these in the future. So make sure if you have not that you are signed up for our MailChimp, which will notify you of different Ask Me Anythings and webinars that we will be having, so you can sign up. All right, next slide, please. All right, so let's just give you guys a brief overview of the Mentor Protégé Program. I don't want to spend too much time on it because I want to be able to answer your questions directly. So the Mentor Protégé Program was started in fiscal year of 1991, and it was in response to DoD contractors who were unable to meet their small disadvantage subcontracting goals. And one of the biggest things that the DoD prime contractors were saying was there were not enough qualified small businesses that could meet and help with everything. And so thus the Mentor Protégé Program was created to assist small businesses in enhancing their capabilities and increasing participation, as well as in increasing the small business industrial base. Next slide. So I just want to hit a couple of regulatory updates. In case you don't know, the DoD's Mentor Protégé Program is open and we are accepting new Mentor Protégé agreements. The Mentor Protégé Program has been reauthorized in the NDAA fiscal 20 year and has been extended through September 30th, 2024. So that means that all DoD is accepting and will award new Mentor Protégé agreements through September 30th, 2024. Anything that's awarded by September 2024 will have at least a 2-year lifeline, which will go to September 2026. So we have funding to last us through there. One of the biggest changes is agreement length has changed. From 3 years to 2 years. We used to have a base year and 2 options. They have dropped it to a base year and 1 option. We collectively, DoD, are trying to work to get that increase. So hopefully that change will happen. But we're working to try to get it back to the 3 years. But for now, it will be a base year with 1 option. And they have modified the disadvantaged small business concern size standard. So it used to be, in order to participate as a protege, you had to be half the size standard of your NAICS code. Now it's you just can't be over the size standard for your NAICS code. So that's going to be the biggest regulatory updates. Next slide, please. Okay, so some of the update that our office, Don OSBP, has done. So if any of you have worked or are looking to get a Don OSBP Mentor Protégé agreement, myself or my support have reached out to you and told you to look at our guidebook. Well, our guidebook is in the process of being updated and updated on the website. So I wanted to highlight the big changes that if you were going to look at the guidebook today are not there, but they will be there in the next couple of weeks. The first and the biggest is that we are now requiring a minimum of 5% total cost to go to HBCUs, minority institutes, or PTAC participation. So it's always been a requirement that you have to have HBCUs, minority institute, or PTAC participation. And we've said that the maximum that you could have on a Mentor Protégé agreement is 30%. So we're now putting a minimum on there as well. For numerous reasons, one to be help us reach the diversity and inclusion executive order that was signed out by the president. And because we want to make sure that we're getting as much out to these diverse organizations who can help build the proteges and assist the mentors as well. The next big change that you will see is the current guidebook says total amount reimbursed per year is 1.5 million. That has been decreased to 1 million. And then total agreement amount has been decreased to 1 million per year, 2 million total per agreement. The contractor support information has been updated. The person who is in there is no longer in the position, and Jerry Smith is now the contractor support. So that information has been updated. And then the following attachments will be updated or will be forthcoming to be updated. And the format of the monthly expenditure report has been changed. And then DCMA have updated their questionnaires. And so we have that as an attachment to the guidebook. So we are updating those attachments to match the new DCMA questionnaires that they have provided. Next slide. Okay, so I didn't want to take up too much time with the mentor protege agreement. If you are not aware of the mentor, or at least the Don's mentor protege process, then our YouTube, I did a webinar about a year ago on the mentor protege, where I went in depth about the mentor protege program and the steps that have to be done. So feel free to go to our YouTube page and review that specific webinar, or all of our webinars, for you to see. I have my contact information here as well. If any of you want to reach out to me, if you have any questions, if you are in the process of starting a mentor protege agreement and you want to kind of have that discussion, the beginning discussions, we are here for it. Always go to our website. And there is a mentor protege page on our website that houses the mentor protege, that houses the Don's mentor protege guidebook, and that provides you all the information and lays out step-by-step the different processes. Again, it has my contact information, my support's contact information, and kind of gives you a step-by-step of what needs to be done. So with that being said, we can go ahead and clear the screen of slides. So we got a couple of questions in before the Ask Me Anything. When you registered, you could submit questions. So I'm going to answer a couple of those questions to kind of let the Q&A queue up. And then I will start asking or answering live questions. So feel free now to log into the Q&A session or the Q&A portion of this and ask your questions. And we'll try to go ahead and knock out as many as we can. So the first one that we got was, what is the best way to support needs for NAV Air and other aviation needs? So again, I'm going to direct you to the Department of Navy Office of Small Business website. There you can be linked to all of the major buying commands, and all of the major buying commands have long range acquisition forecasts on their website. The website has been put in the chat, Don OSBP website has been put in the chat. So please go there. You can look at the major buying commands. NAV Air is one of those, and it will send you to the NAV Air website, where they will have their long range acquisition forecast available. Another question, what does the landscape for defense related to small business look like over the next 2 years? Again, I recommend that you go look at the different major buying commands, long range acquisition forecast, where they have everything kind of planned out. Or you can reach out to those small business directors, and all of that information is going to be on the Don OSBP website. Another question we got is, Don Mentor Protege Program training/education all the Navy small business about the Mentor Protege Program, and why is it critical they support it? Is Don Mentor training all of the Navy small? So yes, we are training all of the small business professionals about the Mentor Protege Program. I have been doing an effort to do what I call a Mentor Protege Roadshow, and that has been going to each one of the major buying commands, having the conversation with the small business professionals in the buying commands, additionally having the conversations with their technical community, and anyone in the command, so that we can, one, get the mentor protege name out there, because this is a great platform to use for both small businesses and mentors, and major benefits for the Navy. So we are educating our small business workforce on it. There's a question about the mentor protege application and entrance for mentors and proteges. So I'll kind of give you a short snippet of what it takes. So for mentors, mentor applications have to be done at the DoD level. So if you're looking to be a mentor, you're going to want to go to the DoD Office of Small Business Programs website. There is a link to that on the mentor protege page of Don OSBP website. So again, go to the Don OSBP website, which is in the chat, and click on the mentor protege page. But all mentors have to be approved at the DoD level. In order to be a protege does not have to go through an application process like the mentors do. You just have to fall in one of the socioeconomic categories and have a mentor. And so you and your mentor come together to Department of Navy and say, hey, we want to do a mentor protege agreement. So for those of you who are not aware of the mentor protege process at the Department of Navy, we don't do it like the other DoD agencies. What we do is we allow the mentor and the protege team to come to us and say, hey, we want to do a mentor protege agreement, and they let us know which major buying command they would like for it to fall under, and we kind of roll with it from there. Other DoD mentor protege agreements or mentor protege programs put out a BAA once a year. The Navy accepts mentor protege agreements all throughout the year. So our process doesn't quite include as many steps as the other agencies, such as Air Force and Army. And if you go to the guidebook lists step by step. I want to answer the next question of, does the Navy link mentors and proteges? We do not link mentors and proteges. The most successful mentor protege agreements are those with mentors and proteges that have already established a relationship, that have already worked together, that are working together, that may be subcontracted under contracts together, because you have a vested interest in each other already. So in some capacity, if y'all are already working together, there's likely some mentor and protege aspects going on in your relationship. You've already built a rapport with the employees, with the leadership, and have a better understanding of what that company or what the two companies do and how they can help each other. So the mentor protege program would just enhance that. So when we put companies together, the likelihood of the agreement making it to the end, or even especially being successful after, has not been successful. So we do not match, team, pair mentors or proteges together. You have to have that teaming agreement together when you come and do and say you want to be a part of the mentor protege program. Okay, so I'm going to hit some of the questions in the chat. If you have previously subcontracted with a small business, can I still submit an application using the small business as a protege? Can I submit an application? Yes. So if you are a mentor and you want to mentor a small business that has worked with you before, that would actually be a great example of a mentor protege agreement. You two have already worked together. You know your products or services. You know what each other kind of needs. And so the mentor protege agreement is going to help you with that. I'm in transportation. Is there a list of mentors in that area? So like I said, we do not link mentors and proteges. You would have to kind of find a protege or a company that works together with you. We have a list of all of the DoD approved mentors for those who want to kind of reach out and say, hey, are you looking for more proteges? But that's something that DoD, the Department of Navy, we do not do. We don't do the teaming. We will not link you together. We cannot connect you. We can just simply say, hey, these are the companies who have mentor protege agreements currently with the Department of Defense, period. Does being in the Don MP program counts against the 2 SBA MP agreements allowed in a company's lifetime? No. The Don's Mentor Protege program is completely different from the SBA Mentor Protege program. And NAB Air just did a webinar on that last week where myself and Miss Perkins, who is the Mentor Protege program manager for SBA, discuss the differences between the two programs. The Department of Navy's Mentor Protege program is completely separate from SBA, so the requirements of SBA are not interchangeable with the Department of Navy's and have nothing to do. So whatever you have going on with SBA is not of interest or matter to us and will not affect what you do over here with the Department of Navy's Mentor Protege program. What I will say is, for the Department of Defense overall, as a protege, you can only have one mentor protege agreement in DOD together. So that includes Army, Air Force, Navy, and all of the fourth estate. So if you have a mentor protege agreement with the Navy and you're a protege, you can't have a mentor protege agreement with Army or Air Force. However, you could have a mentor protege agreement with SBA because SBA is a completely separate mentor protege program. And I think eventually, probably sometime in the next couple of months, we are working to do another webinar where it would be kind of what's the differences between the DoD mentor protege program and the SBA mentor protege program. So be on the lookout for that because we're in the process of planning it. So that'll be coming down the pike because we get that question quite often, but they are two completely separate mentor protege programs. So they're not linked. Okay. Next question. Can a Don mentor be a mentor under other federal agencies like Army or USDA? Yes. Mentors do not have a limit to mentor protege agreements that they can have at one time. So the proteges should only be getting mentored by one company, but mentors are allowed to mentor under different components of the Department of Defense and other mentor protege programs. So yes, mentors can have multiple mentor protege agreements. Next question. How do you find contracts under the mentor protege program? I'm not sure I understand the question, but if you're asking how do you find out if you can get a mentor protege, so the mentor protege agreements are typically their own separate contracts. They're standalone contracts. For the Navy, we have our own contracting shop that writes these standalone contracts. And for those, that's not something that you can kind of get contracts. You have to go through the mentor protege process. However, if you're looking for work, like while you're in the mentor protege program, if that's the question that you're asking, you would just go about seeking work how you would whether you're in or out of the mentor protege program. So I hope I kind of answered that question. That was kind of vague. I want to make sure I answered it. If not, put another question in the chat. Okay, let's see. Next question. Okay, how does the Navy provide mentors, or do we find our own? So as I mentioned before, we do not link mentors and proteges together. So you have to find your own. If you want a list of DOD approved, so that means that these mentors have a mentor protege agreement with Army, Navy, Air Force, anybody in DOD. We have a list of that, but we do not have, hey, here's the person that you can talk to. Next questions. Are all small business offices of NMBC aware of the Navy's MPP application process and its importance? Not sure what, Navy Major Buying Command. As I mentioned before, we are educating the small business workforce on the Department of Navy's Mentor Protege Program process. We have done multiple webinars. and we continue to do it. All of the small business directors are aware of the new process and how we process things. And we have tried to make sure we did it probably a year ago, webinars with all the small business professionals. So we try to make sure we introduce it as much as possible. So yes, they all should be aware of it. For those of you who are not aware of it, I will say it again. We do not have a BAA process. In order to participate in the Mentor Protege program with the Navy, the mentor and the protege decide that they would like to do a Mentor Protege agreement with the Navy. The Navy is a little bit different in that we want you to kind of have, or the results or benefits of your Mentor Protege program should help a program of record or a future program of record. So that's why it's important for you to look at the long range acquisition forecast for the future for these different major buying commands, because you're going to want to see where your product or service fits under those buying commands. That buying command is then going to sponsor or endorse your Mentor Protege program, a Mentor Protege agreement, and then it comes to my office for approval, and then we ship it out to our Center of Excellence, and they will write a contract to the mentor and get the contract awarded in that sense. It's more detailed in our guidebook. So again, I will advise you to go to the website and read the guidebook, but that's a very high level of how we award Mentor Protege agreements. As I mentioned, others within the Department of Defense, they do BAAs. We do, you come to us, if we agree with it and you can get that sponsorship, we'll write you a contract. So that's the difference. Okay. Have a great prime and working on one NAWC contract now. We are a one-person firm right now. Are we too small? Can you include a facility clearance as a part of this? Yes, facility clearances can be included when the Mentor Protege program. That's one of the, I would say, the biggest, especially for those small businesses, one of the biggest things that they try to get accomplished under their Mentor Protege program. A one-person firm might be a little bit too small, only because in addition to participating in the Mentor Protege program, you get the option to participate in Project Spectrum with it, which is a DoD program that is supposed to get you CMMC cyber prepared to pass those CMMC certifications, which is going to require all contractors have by, I believe, October 2025. So that the Project Spectrum aspect of it requires an additional 10 hours a month from leadership of that small business to make sure that that is completed. And then in addition to whatever you're going to be doing under the Mentor Protege program. So if you can run your small business and kind of get all of those taskings complete under your Mentor Protege agreement, then by all means, you're more than welcome. But it could be a lot if one person is doing all of that and trying to maintain a small business. Does a facility clearance of a mentor flow down to the protege? So the facility clearance of a mentor does not flow down to a protege. However, during a mentor protege agreement, that mentor can assist and help getting the protege the facility clearances that they need and kind of get that sponsorship. So as I just previously mentioned, facility clearances are one of the biggest things that mentor and proteges kind of work on during the mentor protege agreement and prepping that protege to be prepared to get that facility clearance. Can the program be used across DoD or limited to Navy only? So the DoD has a mentor protege program, which the Navy's falls under. As I mentioned, if you are looking at the overarching DoD and you're a protege, you can only have one mentor protege agreement within DoD. And then mentors can have as many as they would like. Each agency, Army, Air Force, they do things a little bit differently. However, the DoD and what I'm talking about overall in general, as far as the numbers, the years of the contract, the regulatory information that was on the slide, that is DoD-wide and not specific to Navy. So that first regulation slide was regulation DoD. The second one was specific to the Department of Navy. So I think we're getting a lot of questions about the mentoring list. Right now, you just have to reach out to me. That will be something that will be updated on our website as well. But we do have, it's just literally an Excel list with all of the approved mentors. So if that's something that they want, matter of fact, I think what I'll do is if the slides, Disney, if you could come off mute real quick, don't have to come on camera, but have the slides been posted, or can I just give it to you when I answer the questions and we can just make it a part of that, and then everybody can get it there? That way they don't have to, my inbox won't be influx with all of these questions, with all of these requests for the mentor list. Can we, is that a possibility?
We can absolutely post the list to the past events page under your graphic when we post the slides. So
okay. All right.
Midweek next week, the list will be up on our website.
Okay. So that is, the list will be up on the website next week under the past events. So don't worry about emailing me so I don't have to send it out 150 times. Check and then that way it'll be there for the long haul as well, and be as relevant or as current from today. Okay. Where can we find the schedule of training? I'm not sure what schedule of training is being asked about. If you want us, Department of Navy, to come do a mentor protege roadshow, what we call a roadshow, which is kind of the explanation of what the mentor protege is from DoD level, how it flows down to Department of Navy, you can reach out to me. We're always open to having those conversations and doing that. I think coming up in the next couple of months, I have a road show scheduled with a company who works with a lot of different small businesses, and they want all of their small businesses to be aware of the mentor protege program. So I'm going to do a mentor protege training or road show. So if that's something that you or your agency is interested in, or if you haven't gotten it yet, please let me know, and then we can figure out how to get you that training.
I would just like to jump in and let everyone know that all of our events, all of our trainings, all of our scheduled events are shared in our weekly newsletter, as well as promoted on our upcoming events page, as well as across social media.
Thank you so much. Okay, have there been changes in the Navy MP program regarding points awarded to the mentor in the bidding process that could benefit in awarding the contract compared to other non-MP large companies bidding on a contract? I hope this makes sense. If we're talking about the bidding, overall bidding contracts, just to the Department of Navy or DoD in general, being a mentor in the Navy mentor protege program should not give you extra points or anything that I am aware of. If it does, then it should be something that's laid out in the contract as a requirement. Like, hey, if you're a mentor protege, then you would get some type of extra points or bidding. But to my knowledge, mentors, Navy mentors are not getting extra contracts because they have a protege. I hope that answers your question. But that's what I took it as. If that's not kind of the way you were going, submit another question. Is there a size requirement for the primes, or can seasoned small business mentor new small businesses? Okay, so for primes and for all of the requirements, you're going to want to go to DFARS Appendix I 102, and that provides you all of the requirements to participate. But overarching, in order to be a mentor, you have to have received DoD contracts and subcontracts equal or greater to 100 million during the previous fiscal year. You have to be other than small business unless a waiver to the small business exception has been obtained from the director of the small business program. So if you want to do a mentor protege program with a mentor protege agreement with the Department of Navy, our director would have to write a waiver for the small business to be a mentor. You have to have a prime contract with DoD and at least one active subcontracting plan. And you also have to have graduated from the 8A program. So hopefully that answers your question.
I'm sorry, I was typing the answer. You said DFARS Appendix I.
Dash 102.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And the guidebook, of course, I will always refer you back to the Navy's guidebook. Navy's Mentor Protege Program guidebook has all of this information in it as well. Does the program have a list of proteges looking for a mentor? So again, I will say we do not link mentors and proteges together. The list that you all will see is not going to necessarily be for mentors looking for a protege. These are just approved mentors that if you would like to reach out to them and see if they're interested in taking on a new protege, you're more than welcome. But we do not have that information. We don't keep a list of people who are looking for mentors or proteges. Okay, next question. Okay, is there a pool of mentors in the program looking for future proteges? Again, I don't know. You're just going to want to try to look. Like I said, I can provide you with approved mentors, but we do not have or keep that list. I'm a prime contractor with an existing NAV Air contract. Okay, we will apply for DoD mentor protege. Do you have to wait? Okay. So no, you do not. So I think so the question that they're asking is, do we have to wait? Our guidebook has 2 time frames in which the Navy rolls there, or we have the rolling mentor protege program when we're saying we're rolling to award mentor protege programs. So I'm going to say this: the Navy is always accepting mentor protege agreements year round. We set aside November and June as far as BMI support, where we strictly do and review nothing but mentor protege agreements. However, if you have a mentor protege agreement right now and you want to submit it next week, you are more than welcome to submit it next week. And we will look at it. No problem. You do not have to wait until November 1st or the June. So I think June and November are the 2 dates that we say. So no, we accept it whenever we have it. We just set aside that time. We dedicate ourselves to nothing but mentor protege agreements those 2 months. But we will always make time if we get a mentor protege agreement outside of those windows. Do the mentor and the protege need to apply together with the Navy program? Yes. So when you come to the Navy, you would like to have you and the mentor and protege should already be working together. You'll do an informal briefing. This is again laid out in the guidebook and details of what's included in that. And the mentor protege will already come together, and in an informal briefing, you'll discuss what you all plan to accomplish under the mentor protege program, what major buying command it would benefit, and who you expect to kind of sponsor or endorse you. And this meeting is kind of to have that conversation and allow them to hear what you have and gain that sponsorship. And can the mentor still have multiple proteges? Yes, the mentor can have multiple proteges. Okay. All right, next question. Does Navy Special Warfare issue all contracts under SOCOM, or are some under Navy? I'm not sure of the answer to that question. If it's specifically about small businesses, reach out to us and let us know, like, if there's a specific small business issue that you're working with, and I can kind of get you to the right small business director. But overall, general, I don't know the exact question to that. Should be able to provide the name and contact information of the team. Okay, Ms. White, we have a question. I guess somebody's interested in getting the name and contact information of all the attendees today so they can reach out for potential partnering opportunities. Is that information that we provide, or is that something they just kind of need to conversate in the chat and get each other's information?
I can open the chat up to everyone. It just makes it a little bit chaotic. So towards the end of the webinar, I can definitely open it up to everyone. However, if this is something that you'd be interested in sharing, please email me at osbp.pao@navy.mil. And this is something that we would be able to connect you better via email and keep a running list of those who would like to share. We do have the option to share with third parties, but not for this specific agreement. So I'm not sure legally I would be able to share the list that way. So I think the best course of action would be for you to send me an email, osbp.pao@navy.mil, and I will be happy to connect the folks that are looking for people to reach out to for partnering opportunities and the persons on the other end that are trying to partner.
Thank you. And if you could put the email in the chat, that would be great. Thank you. Okay. Next question. How long does it take for DOD to approve a mentor? Okay, so that depends on, so the question was, how long does it take for DOD to approve a mentor? It depends on their backlog of what they have. However, if you are in the process of working on a mentor protege agreement with the Navy or Army or Air Force, but specifically with the Navy, we can kind of get your application pushed a little bit ahead, because we know that your application is on hold and we can't get the mentor protege agreement approved until you get approved as a mentor. So if you are looking to do a mentor protege agreement with the Navy, please reach out to us, and you have submitted the application with DOD. You want to work with us so that we can ensure that we're having those conversations with DOD behind the scene of, hey, we have this company needs to get, you know, their paperwork done in enough time, and kind of coincide so everything gets awarded and approved at the same time. Do mentors get paid by the Navy to support the proteges as a part of the mentor protege program? Yes, so that is one big difference between SBA and the DOD's mentor protege program, is mentors get paid for their services that they provide to the protege. So mentor protege agreements are cost only. There's no additional fee per se that the mentors get paid for. However, they do get reimbursed, and there are certain regulations and certain stipulations on what they can be reimbursed for, but they are reimbursed. There are 3 different types of agreements you can do. So you can do a credit agreement where you get subcontracting credit for the work that you're doing with this small business. You can get a reimbursable, which would be that cost only agreement, where you get reimbursed for the cost that you have done, or you can do a hybrid, which is a cost and credit. So 1 year you would get subcontracting credit, and the next year you would get reimbursed up to $1 million per year. So up to $2 million total for the agreement if you did a full reimbursable contract. Okay, so it says, to clarify, can a mentor have more than one mentor protege agreement with a protege at a time? A mentor can have multiple mentor protege agreements at a time. A protege can only have one mentor protege agreement within DOD at a time. So if you want to invite me to be a speaker at an event, reach out, send me an email. My contact information is in the slide, so you can either give me a call or shoot me an email, and we can look at the dates and see if we have time on the schedule. And if I'm available, we are more than happy to kind of have those conversations with you and your company and or team. I think one just got. Is there a way we can see Navy forecast for next quarter? Again, for those of you who might not have heard it earlier, you're going to want to go to the Major Buying Commands small business website, and you can do that by going to Don OSBP website, which we have all of the major buying commands linked there, and all of them have the long range acquisition forecast on their website. So if you go to Dawn OSBP website, we link you to the Navy's 10 buying commands, and each one of those buying commands will have their long range acquisition forecasts. Okay. So I do not see any more live questions right now. So I'm going to pull up some more of the other questions that we had and go through those while we get a couple of more live questions in the queue. Okay. Okay, so a question that I got was, how does the Navy launch the Mentor Protege program? Many large businesses do not understand the program. Okay, so kind of let me give you all an overarching view of the program again. So as I mentioned at the beginning, the purpose of the Mentor Protege Agreement is to enhance and assist small businesses in increasing their capabilities and increasing the small business industrial base. So many large businesses were not able to meet their subcontracting goals. DOD had a conversation with them and said, why? What is the problem? Why aren't you meeting these subcontracting goals? So small businesses or large businesses said, we're not able to have quality small business who we can subcontract with. So the purpose of this program is for there to be different types of technology transfers or for larger businesses to work with small businesses to get them where they need to be. So whether that may be with training, whether that may be with, so when I say training, that may be classroom training, on the job training, some can be technology transfer, anything that the large business can do to assist the small business. So that's why I say it's very important for you as a protege and a mentor to already be working together, because that mentor is going to understand. Typically mentors do some type of capability assessment to evaluate kind of where the small business is lacking and kind of help them get to where they can be. Additionally, there ends up being, through the Mentor Protege program, there ends up being a lot of benefits on both ends. So benefit to the Navy is these small businesses are always coming up with these innovative and creative ideas, and we lack ability to get them on contract quick enough before it can kind of get turned around. So having this Mentor Protege agreement allows this small business to provide these innovative ideas, either on ramp them to a contract that the large business may have, or we're preparing this small business to participate in government contracting and start to flow those ideas to the Navy or DOD in general, with ultimately to our warfighters. The businesses get that back and forth relationship, whereas their small business should and most likely become a reliable subcontractor that this prime can always go to them for. And then now it becomes a vice versa, depending on how much time or effort has been spent mentoring this small business. This small business should now be capable of trying to compete for maybe small business set-asides, where the prime then becomes the subcontractor, and that's another built relationship, and it becomes an opportunity to open the aperture for more contract awards. So hopefully that answers that question. So I see a question, does the Mentor Protege program have a foreseeable end date? Currently, we are funded, as I said at the beginning, funded through September 30th of 2024. We are working to continue to get that accomplished. Okay. Okay, I think most of these we have answered. So if we don't have any more live questions, we are going to wrap up this Ask Me Anything question for the day. So we thank you so much for participating. As mentioned before, the presentation, the answer to the questions, and the approved mentor list will be posted in the next week. So please come back to the Dawn OSBP page and get that information. Had one more question. Let me make sure. SBA limits the Protégé to MBAs in a lifetime with DoD MBA count. No. So the question we just got was SBA limits the Protégé to 2 mentor Protégé agreements in a lifetime of the company with DoD MPA count against the SBA limits. No. Again, as I mentioned, the SBA program is completely separate from the DoD's program. So no, it does not count against it. You can have your 2 programs at SBA and then come over to DoD. You can do the DoD and SBA at the same time, and they are not linked. Okay. All right. Going once, going twice, going 3 times. We are going to wrap the Ask Me Anything. Thank you all for your participation today. Destiny, how do you want to open the chat for, or is the chat already open for those who want to provide their information?
Because of timing, and I don't want to interrupt anything, it is best for you just to shoot me an email, osbp.pao@navy.mil. I will compile a list of the protégés and the mentors and share with everyone who emails.
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, thank you all so much for your time. Be on the lookout for our newsletter for the next Ask Me Anything, and everybody have a safe and wonderful day.